Hello and welcome to my video. I'm Divergent Droid, and today, I, a flat earther, am calling out some ordinary gamers for his comments about flat earth. Let's see what they are.
Now, of course, looking into RFK, even when it came to things like vaccine studies, apparently he demanded that these vaccine studies be retracted simply because apparently these studies, these Danish studies, by the way, found no link between aluminum and vaccines and chronic diseases in children. And it's just weird when, any kind of conflicting information comes out that you ask for things to be censured or retracted because it doesn't fit your worldview. I don't know if it was like Ben Shapiro that said this, but it's like facts over feelings or some shit like that. It was like, if the facts do not align with your beliefs, it's your beliefs that have to be the ones that change, right? Simple as that. Somebody tells me, Muta, the world is fucking flat, okay? And we know clearly the world is round, okay? We don't have to change our beliefs for that person. We just have to understand that, we have to contest that person in reality. And by the way, this comes off pretty hot off the heels of apparently Google.
And then you have it. We have to understand these people. We have to contest them. So, this is my challenge to you. Mutahar, the world is flat. You have to deny physics to believe anything else. If the facts do not align with your beliefs, it's your beliefs that have to change. Mister, I'm calling you out to prove the globe claims or fall on your sword and change your belief. Your leaders want you to believe everything opposite of physics. Heliocentric teaches large bodies of liquid water curves into a ball. Physics says water lays flat, always seeks its own level, thanks to the physics law hydrostatic equilibrium. Heliocentric teaches we have a Big Bang creation story where everything spontaneously evolved from nothingness to what we have today. Physics shows us this idea violates the first law of thermodynamics. Heliocentric tells us gravity is mass attracting mass. Physics shows us gas, which is physical matter, does not obey any silly idea of gravity. Gas always expands due to entropy to fill an available volume until equalization occurs, thanks to the second law of thermodynamics. Heliocentric also teaches gravity is Einstein's gravitational accretion, where gases coalesce on themselves. That violates the second law of thermodynamics. Heliocentric teaches gas forms a sphere in a vacuum, what you call atmosphere. Again, gas always expands due to entropy to fill an available volume until equalization occurs. It cannot form a sphere ever, thanks to the second law of thermodynamics. I just gave you 5 examples, or to the untrained in science and physics paradoxes, how the globe's story is purposely deceptive because it doesn't align with actual physics and science facts. You can learn these physics laws yourself with the study of thermodynamics at Conn University, the laws of thermodynamics, and the behavior of gas at Chem LibreText. Mutahar. We were all born into a cult. All of us. It's called the heliocentric cult. The heliocentric cult is pushed in schools to your children illegally due to separation of church and state in the United States. You see, they tell you Earth is a sphere in a vacuum and not to question it. Science doesn't do that. Cults do that. They fed you the information from childhood while you were impressionable and not mentally able to discern facts from fallacies. Science doesn't do that. Cults do that. They teach you there was a Big Bang that happened spontaneously that replaced our Creator. Science doesn't do that. Cults do that. They teach heliocentrism as a religion. It is a cult. It is 100% illegal to do so. Now, Mutahar, if you think I'm wrong, then demonstrate the claims. You see, your explanation is only good if you can back it with actual physics demonstrations. Demonstrate gas forming a sphere in a vacuum that then fails to fully expand due to entropy until equalization occurs, what you call atmosphere. Demonstrate large bodies of water failing to seek their own level, failing to lay flat, and failing to lay horizontal. These things cannot be done thanks to the second law of thermodynamics and hydrostatic equilibrium. You, sir, have a belief. Belief is accepting a position without evidence. Knowing is accepting a position with testable, repeatable evidence. I don't have any belief about Earth being flat and the globe being impossible. I know those things are true because they are supported by physics and science. We aren't spinning. No Coriolis. We do not see objects we do not see objects flying above our heads appear to curve because the Earth is spinning. You cannot claim conservation of momentum. That doesn't apply to spheres. No rim velocity. If Earth were spinning at 1,040 miles an hour at the equator, we would have 1,040 mile an hour forces present. Nothing could live on that. But I'll break it down a little more. Coriolis is an illusion. In reality, you were applying via a begging the question fallacy. You begged the question that you were on a spinning sphere. We aren't spinning. No Coriolis. We do not see objects flying above our heads appear to curve because Earth is spinning underneath the object. Again, you cannot claim conservation of momentum. That doesn't apply to spheres. It does not apply to rim velocity. You see, if Earth were a spinning sphere with a Coriolis effect, as a glober would claim, then everything that flies above our heads must appear to curve as it would fly overhead. This does not ever happen. We would never see anything travel in a straight line. That would not be possible. Your claim is Earth spins west to east. Your Coriolis would cause the distances between cities flying west to east to shorten as the Earth spins under the plane. You would arrive at a destination in at least half the time, assuming the plane is traveling, say, 600 miles an hour. Likewise, traveling east to west, all aircraft not traveling at 1,040 miles an hour at the equator could never even reach their destination. And no rim velocity. If Earth were spinning at 1,040 miles an hour at the equator, we would have 1,040 miles an hour present. Nothing could live on that. Not even your instruments claim to account for either rim velocity or Coriolis effect. There's nothing that can detect such. National Geographic tried to tell people in a video called Coriolis, it's an illusion. I highly suggest you look up that video. National Geographic, Coriolis effect, it's an illusion. Watch it now. What all this means is Earth is not spinning, proven by physics. You were misled because people made claims you failed to fact check, either by not knowing physics or by not caring to vet the information. Again, if you think I'm wrong, demonstrate the claims. Demonstrates objects flying in a straight line always appear to curve because the ground is turning underneath. This never happens, and it must if we were spinning at 1,040 miles an hour at the equator. Demonstrate any size sphere or disk spinning at 1,040 miles an hour fail to have a 1,040 mile an hour force or forces associated with its surface. You cannot contradict those laws of physics. You believe a fairy tale. I'm sorry, but you don't have to be a victim. Consider my words carefully. When you find I'm 100% right and you cannot demonstrate the claims, we'll talk. You did say, we have to contest these people in reality. I gave you physics challenges. How much more real do you want to get? I'll be waiting. Have a great day. And that is my post. You can see it is there. You should see it. And let's see if he's going to reply. I've also offered a similar challenge to Sir Sick, and he ran away like a little girl. Didn't even bother to reply or support any of his fellows who did reply, which I presently destroyed. So there you go. Sir Ordinary Gamers, I'm calling you out. If the facts do not align with your beliefs, it's your beliefs that have to change. You need to examine the facts. And you need to change your beliefs. You don't need to be in a cult. It's no good for you, man. Have a nice day.